Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are gonna be doing part 6 of our Wild Scratch series. Yup, part 6. Before I told you guys that we're not doing part 6 because we didn't have a part 6 that time. But because I changed my mind, we have a part 6 now. In part 6, we're gonna be collaborating with kidicodeninja. In fact, she's the first person I learned how to scratch from. So yeah, I hope you guys have fun learning with me and kidicodeninja. So let's get started.
Hello and welcome to another kidicodeninja tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to collaborate with the big thinkers who is only a 9 years old YouTuber and scratcher who has created a lot of amazing stuff. So I'm going to go to his page here and start with a project named The Player and the Cat. So this is a basic basketball game, which let's see how it works. I can throw a ball to an AI cat and then the cat threw it back to me. So this is a base of a basketball game. I'm gonna remix this project starting from here. So let's see what is here. There is a cat named Player, an AI, a basketball game, and by pressing spacebar, the player is throwing back the ball to the AI and the AI is throwing it back to the player. And from here, I'm gonna pass it to the big thinkers to explain how she has made this beautiful game, and after that I will take over and see how we can take it to the next level and how we can continue improving this game, this really cool game. So yeah, here we are. Enjoy learning from the big thinkers, and I'm gonna put the link to her channel in the description so that you can go and watch more videos of her and get inspired. So big thinkers, you can take over from here.
I'll take it from here. Our game is really simple. We press space and the ball comes back to us. These are the two left and right movement blocks. They make us move left and right using X and Y position or the move 10 steps block. In this case, we're going to use the block called move 10 steps and put negative in the dash. And 10 for the right. Always remember that negative makes any number its negative value. This is the up arrow movement block. It makes a sprite jump. Here's how. Our sprite moves using X and Y position. To go up or down, we use Y. Here are two repeat loops. They help us not to repeat our code too many times. For the first repeat loop, I have put change Y by 10 and the second one change Y by negative 10. So it'll go up and then it'll go down. Here's a broadcast with a when space key event block. Let's go to the basketball sprite now. Here it is. Remember the broadcast that I have made called 2? Well, here it is. Let's see how it works. So here's a little script and a little repeat loop and the thing that is making it go all wrong. So you see the go to X and Y. Just throw it out and replace it with a go to player block. It was my bad. I just forgot we also have a block called go to player. Just ignore that and don't mind my silly mistake that I did there. So if we press it now, you see that'll go straight to our AI. So go to the AI and see that we have a very simple code and a little sticky note that you can see by pausing the video. So you see the wait 3 seconds is just like over here. We have put a repeat loop and we have put a glide 3 seconds to AI. So after exactly 3 seconds, it's going to broadcast one more message called message 1. So if we zoom out, and there's a little script, is also one little script, and just take out this go to XY and put a go to random position and change this to AI. So always start at AI and glide 3 seconds to our player and hide. So here it is, of course. So there goes our ball when I press my space, and it goes back and our player gets it. So that's it for my turn. So you can take this from here, Ali.
Okay, the big thinker. So here is what you have done, and let's remix it so that I can have my own version to work on. I'm gonna name it the player and the cat version 2. Okay, so we have the player, and there is a code here for moving the player left and right. Let's zoom in. So with this code, if I click on it, the cat goes to the left, and with this one, it goes to the right. So if you look at the way that the cat walks, it's a little like not very smooth. How we can make it better? So you see, I need to press all the time so that it can work. Let's add a forever loop here. If I say forever, and then instead of when right arrow clicked, I can say if, and then from the sensing, I can take if key right arrow pressed, then now instead of move 10 step, I can say change x by positive 10. Something like this. So what happens here is that all the time the loop is checking when I'm pressing the right key. So I expect the movement's gonna be smoother this way. But I should also remember that it should be triggered by some action, which is by some event, which is when start clicked. So now if I press right, you see the movement is much smoother compared to the when I'm coming backwards, and then this one. So I can now, so I now rewrote this part with, replace it with this one, so I can delete this, and I can do the same for moving to the left. So I delete this one and replace it with the updated version. In order to do that, I can only, all I need to do is right click and duplicate this one, and then so I want to move backwards, so I can change x by -10 this time, and let's change this one to left arrow, so I can move right and left much easier. But the problem here is that the cat is not walking, but is just gliding. So let's also improve this part a bit. I'm gonna bring this down here so that I can show both. Now I'm gonna use the costume because the cat has two costumes. So if I switch between these two costumes, I make it look like it's actual walk. So all I need to do is go to looks and take the next costume. So let's see, it would walk like this. I do the same for the left as well. Next, I'll switch to just next costume. So now right and backward and forward both are walking. Here we go. Then we have this piece of code, this beautiful code that is helping us to direct the cat up and down. So when up arrow is clicked, what happens is that the cat goes up 10 steps, like a 10 across the y direction, and then comes back the same amount downward. So change y by 10, it goes up. Change y by minus 10, it goes down. So like this. Let's see how we can improve this. One thing we can do is that to include gravity in it. So if the player is here and then when it's falling down, we should include the factor of gravity. So the more it's coming closer to the earth, it should come faster. So first of all, let's create a variable for gravity. I'm calling it cat v y velocity, which means the speed of the cat across the y direction. Okay, so I have the v velocity. The way I can write it is I would say I'm gonna use v velocity to move the cat jump up when it's on the floor, so on the earth. So let's say this position is here, almost minus 130. So I would say from the control, when, or I can say if and then from the operator I take this and then the motions y position. So we're talking about player. If y position of the player is minus 130, which means when it's on the ground, I want it to jump all the way up when the up arrow is clicked. So I added this part so that when the cat is on the floor and I'm pressing the up arrow, so just like before, when up arrow clicked, I'm gonna drag event. When up arrow key is pressed, if the cat was here, now I'm gonna, from the variables, I'm setting cat v velocity or speed across the v direction to 20, and then changing this, the value of the y velocity by the cat v velocity. So I set it to 20 and I change it by this. So let's see what happens if I press up arrow. Since I've changed this, I don't want two things happen when up arrow is clicking. So I'm gonna delete this and use the new version. So let's press up. Nothing happens so far. Let's see what we did. So when I'm pressing up arrow, if the cat was on the floor, I'm defining some number for the v velocity. So here a little mistake. I need to change the y position by the speed. So let's rewrite this. Change y by this variable, which is cat v velocity. So I'm gonna press up and the cat is jumping. So if the cat is on the earth, it can jump up by pressing the up arrow like this. It should also come back down after, so that we're gonna see how to write that part. Now let's write the code for when the cat is coming down. So there are two situations, when it's still coming down and when it's hitting the earth and going below the earth. In that condition, the speed should be back to 0 and the y position should be the earth. So let's take a if-else. So when start clicked, let's first write the condition that the cat is under the earth. If it's under the earth, which means if the y position is anything less than minus 30, minus 130, in that situation, I wanted to go back to here, so I'm setting y to minus 30, so we don't want it to go under the ground, we want it to be always up. And also when it's on the ground, there is no speed because it's already stopped. So the cat v velocity or the speed across the v direction should be 0. But, so for the else, when the cat is like somewhere here, until here, the speed should be constantly increased because there is a gravity. So we're gonna change cat v velocity by some negative number like minus 2, and in any way both conditions we're gonna change y by v velocity of the cat, which, as you know, for this part is always 0, but if you're on the else, it's constantly changing. So let's see what happens. If I press up, so the cat is not falling because we are missing the forever. The condition should be constantly checked. Now you see it's kind of shaking here because it's the Y position is less than 130 and constantly is on this number. So if I make it one number before, see, now this thing is resolved. So if I press up, it goes up and then it comes down. If I want to jump higher, I can change this to even 40. So yeah, and it's kind of too high. Who can jump upper than the basket? So maybe this is a better number. Okay, anyway, you can play with the numbers later on. Okay, so we kind of improved the movements of the cat, and let's see what else the big thinker has done. So here, when space is clicked, you see the ball is going there because there is a broadcast 2, and then there is an AI here when space is clicked. The AI is, this cat is the AI, artificial intelligence. It's waiting 3 seconds and then it's broadcasting message 3. So let's see who is getting the message 3. It's the cat. So when I receive, what's that, message 1? Oh, it's receiving message 1. So when I receive message 1, it means, so the ball is receiving message 1 after 3 seconds of shooting the ball by this one. The ball is coming here and gliding back to this one and then is hidden. Okay, pretty cool so far. Here it says when I receive 2, show the cat, go to player 1, repeat 60 seconds, light to AI. What we can change here is when a space is clicked on the AI, there is a 3-second wait and broadcasting message 1. What if I go here and say, so what if I just change this and then I say when space clicked right away here. When space bar is clicked, let's go back and see what we had. 3-second wait and do whatever is needed. So I'm gonna wait 3 seconds on the control. So I could as well, instead of sending message 1, pressing a space, sending message 1, I could as well from the beginning put this code on the basketball. Just to make sure I'm right, I'm gonna delete this, go back here, and I don't want this one anymore. Let's test it and make sure nothing is changed. So we just cleaned up a little bit. So I'm pressing space. The cat is I probably don't even need this. Wait, I press space. It goes to AI, and then in 3 seconds is coming back. Okay, so far so good. What we can do is that it's more natural if the ball was going, instead of moving like this, if it was going up and then rotate, come back. So let's rewrite the code or improve the code for the basketball. Okay, one more change that we can do is, here you see we have a code. When a space key is pressed, we are broadcasting 2. And then here, when I receive 2, show the ball. And I'm gonna click on it again, show the ball, go to player and glide to the other one. So one good thing to do is that our messages should speak for themselves. So when I read the message, I should understand what it's doing. So here, instead of 2, I can change it to whatever it's actually doing, which is throwing ball to AI. That's it. So here I'm gonna change this message, new message, throw ball to AI, so that it's easier for someone else to read the code. So here again, when I receive through ball to AI, show the ball, go to player, and in 60 seconds glide to AI. Alright, now let's create a new variable for the ball, for gravity, to use gravity in the ball. So I'm naming it ball y. Instead of velocity this time, I'm naming it speed. It's easier to understand, I think. Ball y speed. Okay. Now let's improve this part of the code. So you see here the space is clicked, the ball is shown, and then it goes to the player, and then after 30 seconds is gliding to the AI. So the part that is gliding to the AI, instead of gliding, I want it to go up and come down to here. So I'm deleting this part, and let's write a new version for this one. So I'm gonna use the gravity again. So we define the ball speed, which I'm gonna set the initial value to some positive number like 25, the initial speed, so that when gravity is pulling it, it can be faster and faster. And then I'm changing y by whatever the speed is defined, so by the ball vertical speed. And then I'm repeatedly changing the y, the x, and the rotation until it hits the earth. So what I'm gonna do is repeat until. So how do I say until it hits the earth? I use the y position and I set it to like here. When y position was minus 130 was the time that we were on the earth. So the same thing here, repeat until Y position is -130. For that, I want to change Y, I want to change X, and I also want to rotate the ball a little bit so that it's more natural movement. So I'm going to turn a bit as well. So I'm changing X by 10, turning by maybe 5, and then changing Y by not 10 but by the speed of the vertical speed variable, by the ball velocity. And let's give it a test. Ooh, it went too far. So let's see what we can change. Just checking this part, we have 10 left there. Oh, okay, because instead of 10, instead of X, I put it on the Y. So let's fix it again and test. Let's put it 24, change X by 10, change Y by basketball speed, turn 5. Okay, the reason that it was going only up but not coming down is that we never changed the velocity in our loop. So what I have to do is change the ball Y speed by some number so that it just don't go all the way up, but it also comes down. So now nice and smooth. So it goes up, rotates, goes to the AI, and then AI is putting it back. I hope you liked this tutorial, and make sure to go to the Big Thinkers channel. There are a lot of good videos, especially introduction to Scratch if you're a new Scratcher, and go there and see what a 9-year-old can do. Also, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the bell so that you don't miss the next tutorial, and see you soon.
And that's it for today's video.